So a church and a beach gets bombed in Russia. Yes, they're in war. But the sad thing is, some of these people that were killed were just policemen and children. Now, who actually is responsible for it? There's some startling news that's just come out saying that not only is this Americans' technology, we have got it for the Ukrainians. What does this mean? I mean, this shows to me, more than anything, America wants war. And that scares me. A war before an election, or something to get our minds off what's fixing to happen with the debates and with Biden. There's a lot that can happen in the next coming days. Let's dive in. Hey guys, welcome to the Max. Thank you so very much for being here today. If you are new to the channel, go down here, press subscribe. If you like this content, give us a thumbs up. We humbly ask that you do that if you enjoy the content. Now, we also give a giveaway each and every month. We say this all the time because I want you to realize that when you subscribe, again, it's no cost to you, but you are entered into a drawing every month, and we give hundreds and thousands of dollars worth of gifts away at no cost, and again, we just do that randomly. So please make sure you are subscribed, comment below, and give us a thumbs up. Now, let's talk about today's video, because it's very serious. You know, with wars going on, I mean, we hear that Rafah is being just decimated. We hear that the fact that there's problems with North Korea, South Korea, Russia just visited there, Putin just visited there. I mean, we just flew a U.S. aircraft over to South Korea because of the tensions there. This is becoming a catastrophic event. I kind of chuckle because if you remember when Trump was winning in 2016, the word was he was going to bring us into World War III, collapse our economy, collapse our dollar, ultimately be in charge of nuclear codes. We're going all out war and going to ruin our economy. Now, we're actually doing this right now, and this is not Trump's economy, this is not Trump's warfare. We're literally seeing this before our very eyes with this administration. Not only are we funding arsenals to Taiwan, we just sent a U.S. aircraft to Korea, South Korea. We talked about this just about 3 weeks ago, how dangerous it was that the U.S. was now allowing U.S. military, U.S. weaponry to actually be placed into Russia, meaning it's not just defending Ukraine anymore, we're now allowing them to aggressively use these tactics to go after Russia. That is a provocation of war there. Now, there was a bad bombing a few weeks ago, and that's what kind of made this talk, was that, well, this was actually an American rocket. And then this story comes out. Children among mass casualties after U.S. supplied missile targets crowded Crimean beach. It says Russia on Sunday is reporting that mass casualty event happened in the city of Sevastopol, where it is saying that the U.S. long-range missile was the one behind it. The Russian Ministry of Health said a recent update that 5 people were killed, and of the 124 injured, 27 of them were children. Of the ones that were killed, 2 of them were children. The mass casualty toll is likely to climb over the next hours as they are looking for response from the hospitals. It says Moscow is calling for a terrorist-like missile attack on Sevastopol as 5 U.S. supplied ATACMS tactical missiles carried this out just noon local time. Here's where it gets a little scary. It says flight missions for this missile are programmed by American specialists based by U.S. satellite Reconnaissance. Meaning, and this is the word actually just came out, that not only did we supply the missiles to do this attack, not only did we do that, but there's a new report that came out that said the U.S. Air Force directed this attack to hit Russian civilians today. This is an act of war for the U.S. government. Now, this is just a reporter. I'm just repeating what they're saying. Did Joe Biden seek administration and permission to Congress to start a direct war with Russia? Because here we are using Air Force recon to be able to make this get to where the target is supposed to be. So this is actually American going into Russia. This is a major provocation. And I keep going back to the fact of what are we thinking? What are our leaders thinking? Because I don't blame just Democrats. I'm blaming the Republicans who's wearing their little yellow-blue flag. They're actually causing more death, and they're going to cause more death based on what we're doing. Now, they'll come out and say, oh, well, we don't like that happened, but we still need to fund more of this war. What we're doing is funding this to take place. This has nothing to do with the fact of bombing Russia. It's the fact that America is putting theirself in it. We are putting our military in it. And all of a sudden you hear that children has died, and there's been attacks on churches. And they're saying that America had a lot to do with this because the kind of missile-like attacks were all based on American recon, American surveillance, American satellites, and American missiles. Multiple reports are saying the U.S. drone directed this missile strike. And again, why is America putting themselves in the middle of this? So a beach with kids, and then all of a sudden more than 15 police, several civilians killed with a gunman attack in the southern region of Dagestan. Our militants attacked multiple religious sites. Why, again, why are churches getting attacked? Why is civilian places getting attacked? I think this is where we're going to see the uptick of this war. You know, you've seen battles right across the line. You see a push from Russia. You see Ukraine come back. But then when you start taking civilian casualties in, now you're upping the stakes, and America is the one funding a lot of this to take place. Not that we wanted any certain people to pass, but it's like you made the hard bed, so now you got to sleep in it. It's like, why do we put ourselves in it to say, well, again, we didn't know there were kids there. Well, we shouldn't have never been in there and doing this in the first place. This is not our battle. And I cannot understand why America wants to put ourselves in it. And over the next coming days, this is what it says. This is likely Russia is gearing up to pummel multiple sites across Ukraine and will try to go after bases hosting foreign military equipment and armed storehouses. This event will be a major escalation, and likely President Putin himself will address it in a statement at some point in the next 24 hours. He said the next 24 hours will be crucial because we're going to count how many people have passed, and we're going to assess the damage, and then we're going to go on the offensive. Now, what does that actually mean? Not only are we losing probably billions of dollars worth of equipment, because they just said they will strike places that has foreign military equipment there. Well, that means our equipment gets blown up, and then our big defense contractors can take a lot of money from Congress, and Congress will then give it to them because they're ignorant. And basically what they'll do is they'll print more money to give to these contractors to provide more missiles and more equipment that just got destroyed. It's like we're on a spending spree to where we cannot get the reins back. And the war allows the spending spree to even be pushed up. It upticks. We spend even more. It's amazing how much our dollar is failing, and we just keep spending more money that we don't have. Think about that. Can you imagine being completely broke and still writing hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of checks, swiping your card as much as you can, and buying as much as you can on buy now, pay later, phantom debt, and you're doing all that and just thinking, well, it's okay, it'll all work itself out. I'll just keep borrowing more money to pay the debt that I once have. You can't dig yourself out of that one day. So not only are we escalating a war, and we're the ones doing it, people, we're the ones doing it. Look at this attack. Go back and read about it. There was a precious metals broker that just came out and said this is going to be far worse than the Great Depression, because not only are we're upticking this war, we're printing so much money that we're not going to be able to control it. We are de-dollarizing ourselves. We're the ones causing our own de-dollarization because we're making all these enemies who are not going to use the dollar to spend money, and so therefore it allows for a chaotic collapse. And he said this will be way worse than the Depression. Now this is coming from a guy who's been in brokerage firms and been in gold and been in the stock market for 50 to 60 years, and he's saying this is going to be worse than the Depression because people are not even sustainable like they once were. They're not independent like they once were. They're in debt up to their eyeballs, and then the American government is spending money they don't have, along with de-dollarizing theirself because they're making enemies of our financial system. So therefore, we're gonna look at a situation where the more we spend, the more we bring the war machine in, because the war machine will help fund and pay for all these people that are needing more equipment. So therefore it allows for more war, more chaos, means for our dollar not to hopefully crash. That's their thinking. But what we're actually doing is we're alienating people. It's making our dollar crash. It's making Saudi not want our dollar, and they're wanting to use other currencies. It's making China saying, you know what, I'm going to probably start cutting my losses on these treasury bonds from America. And it's making actually worse shape than we once were, because now we're still printing money that we don't have. Inflation is still going up. Interest is still high. And we're alienating our own dollar because we're making enemies with the biggest players in the world. So while they think this is a good thing because we're keeping everybody safe, we're actually making Americans so much more vulnerable. And like Putin says, the next 24 hours we're going to assess a lot, and we're going on the offensive. What does the next 24 hours look like coming from Russia? What is the next step of where they're going to start targeting all this military equipment? Will there be American casualties because we happen to be next to our American equipment? Oh, they hurt Americans, so we've got to go into the war. Do you see how this works? It's like we prod the bear enough to where the bear will attack us, and then we look like the good guys going in to just take care of everything. Here we go again. 10, 15, 20-year war of endless, frivolous trillions of dollars of spending of Americans' money. All the while we're vulnerable here at America because we have less troops, less equipment, and no sovereign border. So therefore, we're the ones fending for ourselves out here. And it's amazing because I bet you if something happened in America, nobody's coming to help us. Everybody's looking for our help, but no one wants to come help us. It's amazing. Open border, foreign nationals are pouring in here, and we're worried about sending billions of dollars over there and then using our militaries to strike. I mean, beaches? Beaches with kids on them? So what are you thinking? Is it just me? I think this is a distraction to get off how bad our financial problem is, how bad our border is, how bad Biden is as a leader, how bad this debate is going to be. I think it's all trying to get your mind in a way that says, oh my gosh, we've got to focus on this. The purpose of focusing on this, though, is this may come with some consequences of what we're doing. Go back to the statement. Everybody thought Trump was the one that was going to make World War III happen and cause a massive chaos. All the while, it's the one that we have in charge now, who is sitting literally at Camp David doing debate prep, not even going back to the White House. What are they doing at Camp David with him? He'll look like he's just like on top of the world at this debate because he'll be injected with so much. I'm telling you, man, we have got to get a hold on this. And we can't look for Congress to help us because they're the ones helping fund all this, even the Republicans. I'm scared of what the next few hours, the next few days, the next few weeks are going to look like because we are provocating a war that we should have never been in. And if we had good leaders, it would have never happened. Give me your thoughts. Guys, thank you so much for watching. God bless.